Thank you so much for coming. So I'll do an introduction first, and if you have any questions, you can ask questions um, after. You can either write the question on the chat or simply raise your hand or just unmute yourself. So here's the introduction. So in the grand scheme of things, the idea of separation seemingly emerges from that unity of existence. In the illusion of time, picture it like this. There's this beautiful completeness where everything is just is. Like a carefree innocence, like when you're a child playing outside in the park. Then out of the blue comes this notion of being an individual separate from it all. It happens in a flash, like a sudden switch flipping off from the wholeness. And the apparent individual finds itself boxed into this me, self, identity entity within a larger space. This separation moment, although it never really happened, it hits the apparent individual early on, often before it can even grasp what's going on. Before that split second, it's just all this seamless wholeness, unity. But then, bam, wham, boom, the apparent individual is suddenly this distinct something in a sea of somethings. Like everything out there feels separate from the apparent individual. It's here and everything else is out there. It's kind of like I'm here, but everything is out there. And from that split second onward, there's this ache, this longing for something lost. It's like losing a piece of yourself. So naturally, the apparent individual starts seeking. The apparent individual seeks to fulfill or fill that void, that sense of wholeness that it once had. But try as hard as it might, it feels like it's chasing shadows. Because once that separation appears or happens, it's like trying to glue a broken something back together. It just can't be it can't be done. It's like Humpty Dumpty. Everywhere there seems to be this longing. It can appear as war, greed, fear, separation, polarity, desire. They're all just expressions of this deep yearning to find its way back home, back to that wholeness. Every desire, every whim, it's all just a quest to return where the apparent individual started. As the apparent individual grows up in this world, seemingly, it meets others who also believe they're separate individuals. The character thought about time, about space, about the distance between me and you. And so the apparent character is convinced that they are on this journey with a purpose and a destination. And boy, does that apparent individual cling to that belief. The character is told it has free will, that its actions have consequences, that they are the captains of their own ships. So for the character, it strives, it struggles, it hustles, all in a pursuit of peace, happiness, contentment. Insert word there. But here's the kicker. All these ideas, they're just shackles, keeping the apparent individual fettered onto this endless seeking. The character thinks it is on a quest for enlightenment, for some higher truth, a dropping away of the self or the me, but it's like chasing its own tail. Because here's what is seeking has always been right here. It's not out there. It's not anywhere. It's right here within the apparent individual. But the more the character searches, the further it strays away from it. It's like catching a cloud with a butterfly net. It's futile. Liberation, it's not some grand epiphany or a taste of bliss or a state of mind or an idea of nirvana. It's the absence of the apparent individual, the death of separateness. It's realizing that there was never an I, a self, a me to begin with. It's a tough pill to swallow. It's incomprehensible. It doesn't even make sense. It's like being told that there's no treasure at the end of the rainbow. But in that emptiness, in that nothingness, there's a richness beyond measure. It's a return to wonder, to awe, to just be. So here we are chatting, sharing, we're going to be sharing thoughts and ideas. But remember, knowing isn't liberation. Knowing is not liberation. It's the obstacle to liberation. Seemingly, of course. Liberation, it's that sudden the absence of concepts, the absence of beliefs, the innocence of it all, no knowledge required. The apparent moment when the illusion of the apparent character evaporates. And all that is left is nothing but this boundlessness. So if you really look at it, when characters seem to have a glimpse, it saps back into that moment where nothing really happened, where everything is innocent, where everything seems just flows, where everything is as it is. It saps back into that innocence as if nothing really happened at all. So the glimpse and the seeming separation, you can see that it's like it goes back into this isness, but it never really left it. There's just an illusion of a linear time that's happening, that I'm going from here to there, that there's somewhere that I can go where I can find happiness. But in the absence of concepts about happiness, contentment, peace, liberation, enlightenment, awakening, dropping away, it's already this. Even when you say that it's also this, it doesn't really matter. So again, what's being expressed is that there was no I to begin with. There was an apparent illusory moment, like almost like a mirage or a delusion or a fantasy that seemingly emerged from that first knowing that there is something separate. It's almost like learned. Although there's no one to learn or unlearn, it's like unlearning everything that seemingly have created this idea that I am not free, that I'm not content, that I am an I. So when there's usually a glimpse, there's just this absence of words, of meanings, of problems, of a destination. There's no center. It's just this boundlessness that seems to appear everywhere. And usually when the glimpse seems to dissipate, the character is all of a sudden convinced again that it's an I via thoughts, via feelings, via sensations, by an assumption that there's something missing. But it goes to sleep at night, it goes into a deep sleep, and nothing really matters again. It's dancing around sometimes and not really thinking, and there's just this innocence at play. It's like waking from a dream, and everything that you've dreamed that night completely dissolves into this emptiness. So to to summarize what's being expressed here is that there's something that happened but never happened. There's something that occurred that never really occurred. There was a separation that seemed to happen in a flash, but that was just like a dream. So what's being offered here is this directness, in this immediacy where everything seems to fall apart, the concepts, the philosophy, the knowing, even the wisdom of ages. In this timelessness where the word seems to come and go, in this directness when there is no option for a past or a future because they only appear as thoughts. In this nakedness where nothing is adorned, where everything seems to fall apart because there is just this. And there's nothing outside of this, nothing inside of this, but in this radical wow immediacy, this bold directness where everything already is and there's nothing separate. If you have any questions, please go ahead. Or if you just want to chat. Question. I'm trying to stop smoking, and it appears to be that I try to stop smoking. any any addiction, any suggestions? Addictions happen seemingly. There is really no one behind that addiction. It's a seeming reaction when there's really no time. Um, when it's seen that there's no next, when it's seen that all that there is this, the seeming desire seems to exist in the next, into fulfilling something that can fulfill that longing of a cigarette or a wine or drugs or whatever. But when it's seen that there's just this directness, when every thought is illusory, when even desires are illusory, I don't really have any advice to stop smoking, but simply when it's seen that there's no next, there's really no desire for the addiction anymore. Um, but I'm not an expert at that. Daniel. Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Emerson.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I was chatting today with Tegan about well, this stuff
Yeah,
and about it's kind of like a mind fuck how on the one hand we talk about the apparent dropping away, like
yeah,
within the dream there is this apparent dropping away of the
yeah,
illusory me. And then the other side of the paradox is that there is no one to drop away and it's already done, right? So that's
yeah, yeah. It's wild, isn't it? Right? Because we go on this
yeah,
journey in trying to shed something that never was. We seem to
yeah,
find a destination when there's really no destination because the vehicle does not even exist to get us there.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's quite fascinating when this seemingly kind of like, unravels, but there's no one to unravel. It's almost like a discarding of something that was once held on to. But what's being held on to is nothing but an illusion. What's being kept or what's being hoarded. I like the hoarding. Is not even there. It's just what is. How's Tegan?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I haven't talked to Tegan in a while too.
Yeah, we were also talking about it looks like in your one-on-ones, part of what's happening in the one-on-ones is kind of zooming in on the specific beliefs that, a person have, which can differ per person.
Yeah, it's illuminating what's held on to, basically, right? Because seemingly there's there is kind of like when that flash happened, you know what I'm saying, in the illusion of time, where you know what, you one day you're like just a little carefree kid biking around, having fun and everything, and all of a sudden you're here with a lot of problems, with a lot of anxiety or whatever seems to appear, right? And it's a flash again, everything that you thought that you believe, it's almost like it goes back into emptiness, but it's always emptiness, because in emptiness everything just comes and go. There's just a holding on to what seemingly is coming and going, like the time, the me, the self, the beliefs, and that always changes as well. There's this permanence, there's this isness that can't be known, or it's incomprehensible, and yet there is this movement that's appearing in and out, like flickering, like thoughts, memories, the sense of I, experiences, feelings, emotions, pain. Everything comes and go, but there is something that has never really moved. So when there's usually a one-on-one, what usually dissolves is that something that moves. And it goes back into this wholeness that's always is. And it doesn't have to make sense, because making sense comes and go. Believing
Hmm.
comes and go. Understanding comes and go. One time a person believes and the other time that doesn't believe. One time the person
Yeah.
is there and then at nighttime is not there. Sometimes a person is driving and there's no one driving. In my walks in the morning,
Hmm.
there's no one walking. Like right now in this directness, who is talking? If you cannot use thoughts, what's happening if thoughts are not accessible? What's going on? So if you cut this portion, that there is just this, right? It's just really sound that's seemingly coming from silence, but it's not separate from silence. But what comes and goes is the sound, isn't it? Right? And in that sound, there's a word, there's a belief, there's a meaning, there's an understanding, but that comes and goes. But what's often overlooked always is that there is this permanence, an isness, and an unfathomable, incomprehensible. It does not require a knowing or a thinking, but the thinking comes and goes, and it doesn't have to make sense.
And do you also like the word changelessness?
Yeah, I like that too. It's just a word. It's just a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like words, like, like outfits, basically, right? It like shoes, like
Yeah.
food. It comes and goes.
Yeah, you don't want to keep one outfit on
No.
forever. Yeah.
It's all costumes, really, right? Everything that comes and go is a costume of something that never moves. And it doesn't have a source. It's not a being, because that's just an idea, right? But it's all
Hmm.
encompassing. So when it's seen that the words, the ideas, the thoughts, the feelings, the pain is naked, meaning all of the outfits is transparent, then it's direct. You're like, oh, okay, that's it, without saying that. Oh, wow, that's it. It's always it. It. It's never not it, even if it's not it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I was just talking to one of your other friend. Um, he, I'm not going to mention his name just in case. So he did one-on-one with me, and then he had so much clarity for 2 weeks, right? And then he
Yeah,
called me. He said that he went back home. The true test, right? He went back home
yeah,
and he was dealing with his family and everything, and there were lots of triggers, and he's staying at his mom's parents' place, and then he said, and 2 days before he said that he's like, I think I lost it, Emerson. All it really took was 10 minutes and clarity again and illumination that that's just a thought and everything cleared up again. Meaning it's always here. So beliefs will come and go, but what is here cannot be unseen or cannot be unheard. Because it was never seen or heard in the first place, meaning it's always here. It does not require an individual to get it, to know it, to experience it, to see it, to feel it, because it's here despite you.
yeah. Now there's just causeless joy appearing.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Maria, you're back from
Yeah,
how was Mexico?
it was really weird, but great. Yeah, it was really, yeah, it was like the most incredible uh hospital, I guess,
Oh
that
wow,
I've
yeah.
ever. Yeah, it was a hospital, a lot of like Lyme patients and cancer patients.
Oh
So
wow,
being
yeah,
around
yeah.
them, it was really, but like the treatments were amazing. So it was,
Oh good, good. And you're doing well?
yeah, no, yeah, I'm doing really well. And
Oh
like I got
good.
back. Yeah, no, it was really like, um, I don't know. It was funny though, because like I got back
Yeah.
and I'm sure, you know, when the physical body feels better, there's more mental clarity.
Hmm.
But I got back and I was like, I still feel like depressed. And then I was like, and it was kind of interesting because it was almost like going to that hospital and getting all those treatments and
Yeah.
knowing that like definitively the Lyme is like out of my system. Something was like that I can't seek anymore. Like I'm done. Like, and
You
it's
don't have any more
so,
excuses.
no, exactly, exactly. And
Yeah.
it's just this free. There's just been nowhere to go anymore,
Yeah.
and things come up now. I just kind of like, or there's just like a dying into it, and it's so,
Yeah. It's like a
and it's not
grieving,
like
isn't it? Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not painful, but there's because there's no better future. It's almost like the pain of it becomes softness and like
Yeah.
joy. I don't know. Yeah, that's been really interesting. And then the mind's like, yeah, but if you do a little bit of Kundalini yoga, then maybe you'll start to feel better.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
There's
I do the
always
Kundalini.
something on offer, right? You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
to get lost again in that seeking, loop and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
But it just doesn't hold anymore, really, because it's almost like the trust of the experience now of knowing that like turning towards whatever is here is the thing that I've been looking for the entire time.
Exactly. It's always here, right? It's permanently here. And
And
then you're
it's
like, no, not yet. Not you know what?
yes,
Not yet. Not yet. Not today. Not today,
no, it's
not today contentment, not today peace, not today peace, not today
yeah.
awakening, not today
I
enlightenment.
want conditions, no conditions for my happiness. Like these are the conditions for my happiness.
Yeah,
I won't have conditional happiness. And so it's just kind of like the conditions for the happiness. It's like there's a few things in my mind that are just like really like, no, but we need, and it's kind of like, but they're just kind of crumbling. Like it's really cool.
Yeah. So the thought, the mind, the I, the self, the me can only operate in a linear time, right? Like not linear, but linear time. And it can imagine back and forth in the past and the future. But what's at hand, what's always here is the permanence. So it goes into
Mm.
this frantic kind of like, going back and forth. It doesn't want to be figure out that it doesn't exist. It doesn't want to
Yeah.
figure out that there's no problems really. And then when
Yeah.
you've run out of excuses, well, somebody will say, well, I have Lyme, or, you know, um, uh, there was this person that I was talking to that had agoraphobia. He's going through the same thing. He goes, I don't have anything to look for anymore because I'm out of the house now. What do I do next? And I'm like, there's no next. There's no next. It's just this over and over again. So that's the trick now, right? When it's face to face with what is, and there's no more face, basically. It's here. Now what? Who knows? Because at least with
Also,
the illusion of a destination, there is something to look forward to.
yeah.
There is something that can create, like there is a solution and everything. But when it's seen that there's really no conflict, there's really no issues, and it's faced with that ordinariness, so to speak, right? It's like sobriety. It's like, oh, you mean it's like this all the time? It's always this? Yeah. So that imaginary, fractures, right? Like it fractures, and there's almost kind of like a demise of all the ambitions and all of the magical thinking. And it goes into this dry sobriety that is just this. The
It's,
intoxicating, fantastical ideas about the future awakening, or a time when everything is free and everything is just a concept now. But the
and they
concepts can
were,
only exist in the past and the future. It doesn't have any room in the isness, in the directness. It can
and
appear,
they
but
were
it's not permanent. It's just an appearance.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very the fantastical future. It's funny because, you know, having done all this spiritual work and especially around like the latest thing that I had been into was like tantra and
Yeah.
sexuality and becoming like a sexual goddess and all this. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that at all.
No,
But
no, no.
but I just realized that like that
It's high-end porn. Nothing wrong with it.
yeah, but exactly. And it's also like the thing that we're looking for in the sexual experience is this like perfect intimacy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's already here. Like
It is. It is. Yeah. It
that
is.
we are that orgasm. Like
It exactly. There's no difference from a thought. You know what I'm saying? Um, Orgasm thoughts, everything that comes and goes is the isness, just appearing as different stuff, but it's all the same.
yeah. And the kind of desperate holding on to that future when I've finally done enough practice and that's the thing because I do have these blissful states and blah blah blah, but
Yeah.
it comes and goes and that's
It's
fine.
never mentioned. It doesn't even register. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
it's it's funny, right? Because it's almost like the faulty admission that there's always peace eradicates the drama. Because the
Yeah.
drama wants to maintain a superiority in the appearance of the character, right? It's like my drama is, dot dot dot, right? But when it's seen that that's coming and going, and the dominant thing is peace, it's just a temporal
Yeah.
thing. The permanence is peace. The permanence is ordinariness, right? So in the infinite light of isness, basically, all the shadows does not have a place. Basically, the past and the future are just shadows. You are just a shadow. So it almost
Yeah.
kind of like it's almost kind of like a um the demise of what was seemingly held on to as the God, basically, which is the you, the
Yeah.
self, the drama, the longing, the desire. That's what's worshipped, right? For the character.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, the future
The
and that.
future. Yeah. The future. The know
Uh,
me, the self, the whatever, right? All of these concepts are like false idols, basically. The belief, the concepts, the ideas, the assumption, you name it, right? Whatever comes and goes. And it misses all the time that it's already at home. It's already at peace. That's
yeah,
why all of
and
this
when
coming and going doesn't really matter. It's all irrelevant.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, when I was at the hospital, I was like going from treatment to treatment and like hyperbaric oxygen chambers and massages and
How
all
was
this like
that? How was the
it was
hyperbaric? Was it
it was
cool?
wild. Yeah, it was really cool. You come out, you
Is
feel
it like
really energy.
oxygen?
Yeah, you're in like
Yeah.
a tube, pressurized tube, and
Like
then they
Michael Jackson when in the 80s. I don't know if you saw that one. He used to sleep in the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
hyperbaric chamber. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that turned out well for him. Um, but I was constantly like kept. I was in this very like working on myself and doing thought work and practices, blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah blah
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
trying, trying to maintain, and you just can't fucking maintain it ever.
No,
You just
no,
never
no, no,
able to maintain it, and so
no.
it's like either I keep fucking doing this for the rest of my life,
Yeah.
or I just turn the other way, man. Like I'm
Or no,
done.
or you can just see directly that there's really no, not even any of that happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't really the semantics of that don't really work
Bec-
for me.
Because you're trying to make it work.
Yes,
It's
probably.
nothing to do with you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You're trying to make it work still. But there's no you trying to make it work. Does that make any sense? If you look at it,
Yeah,
it's yeah.
I think I've just listened to you so much in the past that sometimes I slip back into that, like
Yeah, yeah,
trying to
yeah.
understand rather
That's
than
right.
like
Yeah.
coming actual experience in the last week or whatever where it's just been very clear. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
It's all the
um,
experiences come and go. And that's, all the experiences, all the thoughts, all the meing, basically, right? When there's just this beingness where everything is allowed to come and go.
yeah,
When it's whole, basically, right?
yeah, and there's just nothing to say.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're back and I'm happy that you're feeling better. Um,
Yeah,
but
it
those
was
those trips though, how long were you there?
3 weeks.
Oh wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was cool. I
That's
highly
good.
recommend the place.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. It looked really
So
cool.
yeah,
It looked, when you sent me the picture, it looked really cool.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like holistic functional medicine.
yeah.
It's all groovy. All right, I'll sign off and let someone else
Okay,
talk.
thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Welcome back. What does it mean when you say everything is whole and everything is empty at this moment? In the absence of separation, in the absence of thoughts, in the absence of knowing, in the absence of thinking, assuming, how can there be separation? Simply separation is just a concept. It's something that is learned, basically, something that's thought, something that is known. In the absence of knowing, it's whole. And this wholeness, without the ideas, without the concepts, without, is also empty. So everything is empty and everything is whole, meaning that the idea that there's a you, that there's a me, that there's a subject object, that there is left and right, that there's opposites are simply ideas. So the idea, whenever all the ideas dissolve seemingly, and the wow, when someone is dumbfounded, speechless, basically, right? Because the ideas will just circle back into ideas to maintain an idea, to support an idea. But if one day, you know what I'm saying, all the ideas did not make sense anymore, all the concepts are just seen as empty, meaning it's all made up. And when there is just a directness in this, meaning that even the words that's being said are all made up here. The language that is being spoken right now is like a dream language. So I can't even call it whole or empty, but that's the best description that can be said about something in the absence of assumptions and knowledge and ideas and passed on information. There's this emptiness that seems full, that there's silence that seems heard, there's an invisible that seems to be seen. There is nothing that seems to appear in everything. And that's just another story. Kelsey goes, the immediacy of everything is the intimacy. Yes. When there is no separation, it's direct, right? There's not even a you and me anymore. There's just this whole, inherent wholeness, inherent completeness, radiant intimacy. What is isness? It's just a word. What is being spoken about cannot really be known or said or even be described, and it's the words are quite limited, and the words cannot really comprehend it, cannot really capture something that is infinite, something that is unthinkable, something that is permanent, something that's not a something, a empty, full, um, it's it, it's this, even not this. So it's just a costume that's more transparent than the costumes of ideas. So it tries to express this in a very limited, very without much definition. So the isness is something that never moves. The isness is what seems to be appear in everything. The isness is all, and it's also nothing. The isness cannot be known. The isness appears in these words, but it's not this word. Arie, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Hello,
Hey Emerson, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? Did I pronounce your name wrong? Arie.
No, Arya, yeah, it's fine.
Arie.
It's my
Okay,
first.
good, good.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I've seen a few of your videos, and I've been watching, the videos from the other, I don't know what you call them, the non-dual messengers, maybe, or something like that. Um, I had what seemed like a weird glimpse the other day, and I kind of feel like it's coming up again now in a similar sort of way. Um, which is that it's so obviously this,
Yeah,
like it's so like too obvious. And I think that there's almost like a glitch, like where from this perspective, it seemed like it's like staring me in the face so much that it's like I can't see it. Um, like it almost like a joke, kind
it
of.
is. It is. It is. And it's so direct, right, that you're not even seeing it. It's what's seeing and what's seeing and what's being seen simultaneously. That's why it's like that's why it feels like it's in your face, because what you're looking at is it, but what's looking also is it. So there's this concept, right, of subject object. What if the subject and object collapses and everything is whole?
Right. Okay. So just I can't even find the subject or the object. Like when you when
Yeah,
you,
yeah. There's no subject object. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
no, that's fine. Yeah, I'm trying to I'm trying to understand. Like I'm trying to see whatever the word is. Like where. So I was thinking like today. Like they're saying like there's no me, but I can't even I can't even figure out where the me is. I don't feel like it's gone away. I just don't know where it is.
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's not even gone away. It's one of those tricks, right? Because if you start looking for it, you will never find it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
So that's it's kind of absurd to want it to go away or want it to
yeah.
fall away and find I don't know where it is.
Because it's just an
Uh,
idea. So all
right.
you're running off right now is just ideas, right? The whole construct of REA is just basically a whole bunch of thoughts. It's a series of thoughts.
Yeah,
If
it
you
really is.
if you you'd like listening to kind of like more of a direct communication, right? When it's what's being pointed out here is that if you're not able to use any thoughts because thoughts are relevant, if you're not able to access the past and future because it's an illusion, what do you have left?
I don't know. But right now I'm blanking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What do I right? No
The-
past or future, no
yeah, yeah.
thoughts. Yeah.
Meaning that if I can corner you here right now and you cannot and basically you've seen that the past is an illusion and the future is an illusion, that's why it doesn't really matter, or it's null and void basically. Meaning that there's only this. In this apparent moment, in this apparent moment, only this. If you cannot use words or thoughts, what's happening?
Uh, do you want an actual answer?
You can,
I
yeah.
don't. What's happening? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what this is.
There you
It's
go.
like yeah. Uh,
If you cannot use time, what's happening?
yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, even saying that, um, it, um, I don't know. I guess there seems to be some distant thing that wants to know, or like it
What if
wants to
that's
get.
just a thought?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if
There's
that's
also
irrelevant? What if there's no middleman? What if there's no witness? What if there's no observer?
there's something as objecting like no, it is relevant. It has to be, or like it has to get
But
something.
that's just a thought. That's the illusion. What if everything that it's just a belief? What if all beliefs are a lie?
Then there's just emptiness, or just like
Yeah,
yeah. Then there's just like um there's just like a falling, yeah. Like, or it feels like I'm gonna fall into empty space.
yeah, that's
That's
it.
how,
That's it.
yeah.
It's just a never ending unfolding, like a free falling. Because you can't hold on to thoughts. Can you hold on to thoughts?
No,
No. Can you hold on to time?
no,
Can you hold on to a me?
no. I mean, I don't
No.
even know what that is. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just never ending this. It's not about figuring it out, not about
Right.
knowing it. Because again, those are just ideas, thoughts, concepts. Is there a
So now
center
what
right now?
is there a center you asked?
Yeah, yeah,
Again, it's a sort of thing where like I want to say yes, but then I'm like, where? Or like I don't know
exactly.
what.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's saying yes? There's no center.
Shit.
Yeah.
It's funny, I'm saying
all
myself
you really have, all you really have is thoughts, right? In the
mhm,
absence of that, what do you have?
just this. Well, I don't have anything. It can't really. I
There
don't
you
know really.
go.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, the thing is like that it seems like maybe this has been seen before in some way, but then
It's always seen.
yeah. Will I ever stop just like chasing my own tail about this? Do you
What
think?
if you don't have access to the future? What if this is already it? What if
Then
you
I don't
can't
know.
even, yeah,
I don't, yeah. Well, then I mean, yeah, I thought it'd be different. I thought there'd be less, but there'd be, I don't know.
you're still
Just
trying to grasp it.
yeah.
Yeah. But what if you can't even, to grasp it, then you would have to have a history of something that was missing. But what if you can't even go to the past? What if you're trapped in this infinite now?
Yeah, traps. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trapping you.
Yeah. Uh, you-
What if you
I
what if you're not able to access the past and the future and it's just really only this?
But then it's just like then it's just free fall, I guess you say. It's just
Yeah,
like I won't say relaxing, but it's not even that
yeah,
because it's just like I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
It's almost like in this isness, you know what I'm saying? In this unknowable, everything that you know starts dropping away. Everything that you believe completely falls apart. All the concepts does not have a leg to stand on.
Right. And it's trying to imagine a future like after this meeting ends and then I go back to my life and all of
Again, you know
that.
what? There's no future. It's trying to block what is already here. It's trying to deny it, right? Um, what if there's no future? There's only this. It's almost like it's putting a flashlight there and saying that no, the future. Let's go to. There's no future.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, then it's quite free and it's quite nice.
yeah.
And it's just kind of
It
I
is.
mean
It's just this.
yeah.
All that there is this. Really, there's only this.
Only, but sometimes this can feel really tight and right now this feels really open or
Yeah,
loose.
yeah. But you're going to the past again.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm trying to make it into a thing that I can have and hold. And
Exactly, because the character, the individual is trying to own it. You can't own it because you're not even here. Kind of like what you said, it's just free falling, right? So it's trying to sneak in there, trying to kind of like say that, well, in the past, you know what, it felt tight. Now it feels really open.
yeah,
Yeah. So it creates a future. Will it be tight in the future again? See how it goes? See the trick
yeah,
now? Yeah.
yeah. But even seeing that won't stop it, right? Meaning, like,
But
right?
you're
Isn't that?
thinking about the future again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're thinking of
This is like
beginnings and endings. There's no beginnings or endings, and that's the trick, right?
so. So that's okay. The weird thing is because like right now I feel like the way you're explaining it, I get it. But then at the same time, like I what I get is that I can't get it. Or
Exactly.
like I
Yeah.
yeah.
You can't get it because there's no one to get it.
Oh, that sort of sucks in a way.
Yeah. It's already
Yeah.
this, it despite of you saying that, well, I lose this, it doesn't matter because it's already here. Despite of you saying that it felt tight before, now it feels free. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you accept it or you reject it. See what you did before, what happened? You were denying it and then you were accepting it.
Right.
The character is trying to claim it, right? If you
Yeah.
notice that. So what is
Yeah.
moving then? Isn't it just thoughts that's moving? Feelings coming and going?
Yeah. Absolutely. Feelings and thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's here that is just is, meaning that it's always here. If
Um.
it's always here, then it doesn't move. If it's always here, then it doesn't have time. If it's always here, then it doesn't matter what you think of it.
Yeah. I guess the word that comes to mind is like open space.
Yeah, you can call that, like you call like boundless space, basically, right? So what if boundless space is all that there is?
I don't know. I don't know what to say to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's good. Is it good? Is that a good thing? I don't know.
So it's looking for approval now, right? No. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to feel like anything. It always is.
And how is that liberating?
Because there's no you to liberate. You don't have a concept of liberation anymore. Everything is liberated then, meaning that you got out of the way. Your thoughts got out of the way. Your concepts got out of the way. The belief system is out of the way. So there's just this blank. So whatever appears now is liberation. Whatever seems to appear, you know what I'm saying, is it.
Mm.
Whatever seems to come and go is it.
I don't know if I get it. Maybe I do. It's hard to
It
say.
has nothing to do with you getting it or not getting it.
It's just weird that because in a sense it seems like what you're saying is really obvious. And like I said at the
It
beginning,
is.
yeah.
So what's
But
obvious then? Let's go there.
yeah, so it's obvious, but then at the same time, I'm like, I don't get it. Like wait, like there's just like this kind of glitch that I was kind of referring to. Like, the glitch is that like, let's say the thing that wants to know, um, is like too complicated for it, or like, it can't. This is so simple, like or like it's so immediate, however the
It's
words are.
it's so
Yeah.
simple, it's so immediate, it's so direct, it's so intimate that it does not even require thinking. Like for
Right.
example, right now, let's just this moment, right? If, for example, this moment, if you can't think, that's it. It's empty. There's almost like this infinite hum that is just it's just silence basically. It's just a peace that you will never understand. It's an isness that you will never get. It's just what is. Whatever seems to be appearing is it. So for example, the screen is it. The looking is it. The holding the hand on your chin is it. And it does not require any thinking. The looking around is it. The breathing is it. Meaning everything is whole. Somehow the character learned that there is separation, that I'm an
Yeah.
individual. But when you unlearn those, there's no you, because the you is what is learned. The individual is what's learned.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
see
you're kind of
that.
like, well, I don't get it. I'm like, there's no you to get it.
Right. That's strange. This just sort of
It is.
strange.
It's disorienting, right? It's kind of like, what the hell?
Like, what have I been doing all this time? Yeah.
That's what I thought too before. Like, like
Yeah.
I went through the full extent of it. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, it's like, how could I have overlooked it too? How could
Yeah.
it's so when yeah, I guess I can't really say anything about it that makes any sense. But yeah, I appreciate whatever you just apparently did there, because that was nice and helpful. It seemed helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll give someone else a turn. Thank you.
Okay. You good? Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Good. Corey.
Yes. Oh,
Sorry. Take your time, Corey.
sorry. Yeah. Oh, so talking about to Maria talking,
Yeah.
just really prompted things in me, and I thought, oh, I'll just talk about it because
Yeah.
I felt, yeah. It's since I had the attack,
Yeah.
there's just here a constant searching, almost every hour of the day for answers,
Yeah.
like researching what will help,
Yeah.
and like ice baths, ice showers, hyperbaric oxygen,
Mm.
all the supplements, healing, getting healing. And I'm kind of, I mean, I know that's it as well,
Yeah.
but at the same time, there's a bit of confusion because it's, yeah, I don't quite know how to put it into words, but there's confusion because it feels like I'm actually enhancing the me. It's that it's not, things are not quite right.
Yeah.
I can't put it into words really.
It's
Um,
just another idea. It's just another empty idea that you're enhancing it, right? So it creates a conflict. It creates something when naturally the body's just trying to heal, right? So naturally it looks for, and it's just what is.
the answers, and
For
that's what,
answers, yeah. For healing,
yeah,
basically, right? Because
it's in the
that
physical,
in the
yes,
physical, yeah.
in the
And
story,
in the immediacy, when it's seen that there's no next, so whatever appears is it. So
yes.
sometimes it
So
gets caught up in the next now because it's looking for answers, but the answer is always in this moment. It's empty.
but
Everything
it does,
else is just a mental construct, basically. It's looking for it's again, the, it's a tricky, right? That sense of seeking, because sometimes it can become a mental thing. Sometimes it becomes a physical thing, kind of like how addictions happen, right? Sometimes people go for a relief, basically. But when it's seen, you know what I'm saying? That in the immediacy, in this openness, right? That there's really no next. Then that neurosis of looking for answers has no room. It's just this. It's always it.
I think this has come up before with you, and right. So I know it's it, but it feels like it's enhancing, it's re reaffirming the me. That's what it feels like.
But there's no me to reaffirm. That's just the thought.
No, of
Yeah.
course that's
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even talk about the me anymore. It's just a concept.
what's happening.
Yeah. It's almost like that's all that the character knows, is that there's a me that's being reaffirmed. But what if that's out of your knowing even? What's there to reaffirm other than a belief?
But it seems like there's a choice whether to keep searching or just let what happens happens. There's
What
no
is
choice.
Yeah, what's happening is somebody, that's nothing to do with you though.
No.
It has nothing to do with you, right? It's just, again, it's just a whole bunch of ideas again, right? So getting caught up in a swirling of ideas will just maintain more ideas, right? So when there's a belief that this is just a reaffirmation of the me, when there's no me, it's almost like an indoctrination again. It's almost like learned, right? Kind of like what I was saying before. There's just innocence, and whatever seems to appear is it. Rather than seeing that as just really directly, then it longs for a next, because it's looking for another imaginary next, a dropping away of the me, right? Because it's been indoctrinated. So it goes back into that. It's almost like when someone has been brainwashed, it believes that there is a me that is going to be reaffirmed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I get that belief.
yeah,
I'm like, when I say to you, is this accentuating the me?
yeah,
That is the belief, a thought.
yeah.
But so the searching for health cures, um, like Maria was saying,
It's just what is appearing as that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
nothing, nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. It's so it's so easy to believe that it's reaffirming, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just a belief. It goes back to old belief systems, especially, someone that's believing that there is a me to reaffirm for the past 10 years or 20 years or something, right? So it's almost like a habit that you broke and then it's happening again. It's like a habitual belief basically that keeps on repeating. But yeah. And I'm glad that you're seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that's doing, is separating that
Yeah.
belief from the fact that there seems to be looking for answers.
Yeah.
And that's it as well. So
And that's it as well. Yeah. What is wrong with that?
That really, really helps.
Yeah.
I can't do that now.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Just this morning.
Again, yeah, because I was talking to someone again, and it's just almost like an unknown habit, a belief, right? That comes and goes. Is what am I doing? Kind of like reinserting to me. I'm like, there's no me to reinsert. It's just a belief. So, and it's almost like when it's seen that there's really no yeah, it's just that it's almost like a habit, right? Something that repeats over and over again, and it keeps the character in a loop of seeking because it's looking for something in the next when there's no next. It's it too. It's it. But Corey, let's do a longer talk. If you can talk like right now too, if you like, you know what I'm saying? But let's.
I'm so tied up with doing this. I just haven't done anything that I want to do. It's just like become an obsession, really, because it's another attack. So
it's another attack of, it's a specialness again, right? You caught it, right? It's just another special idea that once it's almost like engaged with, then you believe now that there's something that you need to do again. You need, that there is something that you need to stop or do, or or something that needs to happen and everything, when it's always the case.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love
so
you.
much.
Love you. We'll talk. Just message me. We'll do a longer talk. Yeah.
I really, really will. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's a question. There's a sense that it's not enough. It doesn't solve the problem. That's it too. See, if you see that the thought that comes is just a costume, it's an idea, it's a concept. Not enough is a concept. But if you see through that costume, that illusion of a thought, then that's also it. It seems to be hidden because it appears in everything, even the feeling that it's not enough, even the it doesn't. What problem to solve? So there's always a grasping or trying to go to something in the future. In the next one, what's being expressed here is already the case. It seems that the contracted energy appears to be happening in the boundless energy. Therefore, can we say that the good and evil are only the appearance of isness? If it's true, then how does the boundlessness experience itself? Oh, that's a loaded question. There's no contracted energy. There's no evil or good. Everything is just an appearance. So contracted energy might appear, but it's just an appearance. The seeing of evil or good may appear, but it's just an appearance. It's all boundlessness. It's all isness. So there's nothing separate for all, there's nothing separate at all. It's all it. It doesn't seem to fulfill me in the way I fantasize about it. Of course it doesn't, because it does not acknowledge the me as reality. It actually sees it as absent. So the character, the me, does not want this because it wants to prolong the identity, the reality, the false narrative that it is running the show. When it's basically it's reductive basically when it's seen that the me is redundant. It's not really there. It's absent. Then it has nothing to do. There's nowhere to go. Nothing to get. Then all of its historical seeking is meaningless and pointless. And also, equally, all of the future fantasy about, enlightenment dropping away is also an illusion. So rather than being direct, it's kind of like when you say when the void is staring the void, then everything disappears. It's just a void. It's unknowable. It doesn't go into this fantastical, imaginary, magical thinking of a person dropping away. It's already the case over and over and over again. Is it true then only that it, boundless energy, is real and everything else is unreal? There's no such thing as real or unreal. There's no subjective, there's no absolutes, because everything that you could think of is made up. That's why it's being said, that's why I can't say that it's incomprehensible. It's the dissolution of all the illusions. So the moment that there's a thought that happens, even a feeling, a sensation that is automatically stamped as my feelings, my sensations, my sadness, my happiness, is basically just an appearance. It's just an appearance. I want to be able to rest and stop craving, but that doesn't seem to be possible. Do you want to come back to the live? We'll bulldozer that. Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go. It's better, right? Than the texting. Yeah. So what were you saying? You were saying, I want to be able to rest and stop craving. Okay. That's in the future. Yeah. You keep on going to the future. There's no next, right? There's really no next. Yeah, yeah. So what appears is just really just innocence at play that appears as whatever. It can appear as craving. It can appear as whatever. It's just it. So what if the future is not in your vocabulary anymore? Meaning that there are tribes, in the Amazon that does not have a past or a future. They just see everything as now, as this. There's not even a now, to be honest with you, right? But it's just languaging. I want to be able to rest and stop is just a thought about the future.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay. When I consider the idea that there's no future, then there's a kind of relaxing that seems to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
A tension in my lower body thought that was saying I want to be able to relax.
Yeah. It will try to fight, right? Because the thought doesn't want this. The me, the I, the self doesn't want this. It doesn't want to showcase that it's not really there, because it just seems to hide in the shadows of the past and the future.
And is that me?
Who's you?
Yeah.
Is there
I don't
historical
know.
you? There you go. So for a me to emerge, there must have been a past, right? What if there's no past? Is there a me?
If there's no past.
Yeah.
A
me must have developed over time, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true. But it's screaming in my head that there was a past.
But yeah, of course, right? It's getting cornered right now. It doesn't dare.
Yeah.
Is it here right now? Where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't find it. Can you?
It's not here, but there's a memory of it.
But memory is just a thought.
Yes,
what if memories are not real?
Well, but right.
Because real is just a thought. Real is just a word. What if everything that you're basing it from is just your thoughts? What if your entire reality is just based on your idea that, well, I have a memory of this?
So how do we know this is happening right now?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say. What is even this?
So right, okay, let's talk about this because this is easier to argue about than the past,
Okay,
which we
go
can't.
ahead. Go for it.
Yeah, yeah. So this seems to be here. There seems to be a computer and a Emerson
Yeah,
and a
yeah, but
me.
that's a thought. That's historical again, right? For you to be able to call this Emerson or a chair or a computer and everything, you must have,
Right.
base it on a memory. But what if the memory is irrelevant? What if the whole illusion, can be seen through when you see that there's no such thing as a past or a future? And the words just create this imaginary historical appearance. What everything is happening right now. What
Well,
if you
but
can't go to the past? Yeah, there's no past or future.
then we're also saying that there's no present either, because
Exactly.
yeah,
There's no time. There's an appearance, there's a thought about time, there's an appearance of time. So if there's no
There-
time, there's no memory.
yeah. When we're talking about this, there's a kind of a yeah, there's a tension in the base of my body somewhere
Yeah, yeah,
that seems to be affected. Like it
yeah,
doesn't like yeah, it seems like it's it's reacting to what we're saying.
yeah. Oh,
Uh,
I've had one-on-ones that people are convulsing with what's being said because it doesn't want to, it doesn't know what to do with it.
but when you say it doesn't know. Which is the it
I'm
that
just
you're
using
referring
words. When I say
to?
it's the is, it's the it, it's this, it's whatever, it's the unknowable, basically. Um, Without a source, without a meaning, without comprehension, meaning that the moment you think of it,
Right,
then what's thinking is reinforcing that idea that I am here.
right. So I'd like to stop doing that, but I can't
But
seem to
who
stop doing.
wants to stop doing that? See? Again, saying
No, you really trapped me here. But it's like I said,
exactly.
but I don't know what to do now. It's like I'll wave the white flag, but that I can't really surrender either.
Yeah. So if you can't surrender, if you can't do what's left here?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
mean,
the I don't know. Maybe the knowing is what is the trap, right? You're looking for something that you know, but the you that knows does not even exist. So all it knows is illusion. All it knows is fantasy. What if you're running on fantasy, running on ideas, but really you're running on empty because all of those do not exist.
I want to have a response to what you're saying. But I don't know what to say.
Yeah. You go ahead, whatever response, saying uh, you can
Um,
talk in stories. That's completely all right.
well, it's just that you're doing something very direct here, which I've like, never experienced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of the trapping me in the present moment. It's a funny thing because you're trapping me, but you're not, because it's
Yeah.
like who's no one really there to be trapped? It's sort of like yeah, it's sort of like peeling away the onion and then finding nothing in the center. Like
Yeah.
you squeeze until then there's nothing there.
Yeah. Isn't it
Because there's a
great?
it is great, yeah. It's in that sense, yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Um, yeah, there's a part of me that's just absolutely outraged and upset about it because it's like,
Worse, yeah, because if what's being expressed is that you're not relevant.
right.
Yeah.
And everything I've been looking for, I'm not gonna find.
Yeah, because you're looking for relevance.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I should just, go. Then I should just die then or something. I should just go away.
But there's no one to go away. See? All that you have, all the structure that you have is just thoughts, right? But what
Yeah.
if, can like what I'm saying, but what if the thought is also it? What if everything that is happening to you, you looking is let's just call it boundless freedom? What if boundless freedom is speaking? What if boundless freedom is looking? What if boundless freedom is feeling? But it's in disguise of a word called Arye.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if this is already it? And you just can't seem to accept it or reject it because there's no you to accept or reject it. There's no opposites. You can only the you, the me, the self can only function in an opposition. It can only function in time. It can
Yeah.
only function in thoughts. And all that you'll ever do is try to maintain that identity, is try to maintain that there is something in the next that you can get. Therefore, confirming that there's a you. Or even if you say that I want to drop away, also confirming that there's a you.
Right. Well,
What if
also
there's no
imagining,
you to confirm, or there's no you to drop, and there's no you to
yeah.
yeah. What if this is already, is what I'm trying to say, is that you're just dreaming in words, you're dreaming in thoughts, and the you
And,
is a dream.
but
Sorry for
it's
going hardcore on you, but
no, that's cool. I like it. It's just that it right. I mean, I know I sort of I think I know what you're gonna say, but like I can't do anything about that. Meaning, like you said, you're dreaming in words and everything. It
yeah,
sounds to me like you're saying you should stop dreaming in words, but you're not saying that,
no.
right? Because there's no
How?
way to right how, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's right. So it's kind of like, what are we talking about? Or like, what are we doing? Like, I like,
Yeah.
are you?
What if
Yeah,
this is a dream, and you just think that you think that this is reality? What
yeah.
if your thinking is a dream appearing? Like, you know what? I haven't said that quote. I always say this quote: "Reality is an illusion, albeit a very persistent one."
Right, is that
Einstein.
Einstein?
Yeah. So yeah. So what if the moment that you think, posits this reality that does not exist, and the reality is just based on you, and you're looking for an alternate reality for a reality that does not even exist, meaning the alternate reality is the next. It's another illusion. What if you're chasing something that does not exist?
Yeah. What if I am?
Yeah.
Well,
What if the you that you're the one that's chasing, actually, that doesn't exist, is already it, meaning that you don't exist. You're chasing for something that does not exist, but you don't exist.
okay.
Yeah. I love that you're trying to figure it out.
Uh, yeah, I'm trying to figure out. So like, why is it? I guess it's a stupid question, but like, why is this happening? Like, why are we in
Who
this like
wants to
super?
know?
Yeah.
Isn't it just
Uh,
feeding the illusion if I just tell you why?
who wants to know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That just the question just seems to come up.
Yeah, yeah. But what would the answer give you? A
Yeah,
confirmation of reality? An answer to something that's an illusion?
I guess I just really want to stop thinking about it. So
But
I
who,
imagine
again,
that.
if you look at something that needs to happen in the next again, right?
Yeah.
Then it goes into that loop again.
Right.
It's a loop.
Okay.
It's a loop. It's a loop, right? So, for example, to go to the future, then you have to dig from the past to fill the future. Therefore, you're missing what's here. What cannot be comprehended is here. And then you go into the magical thinking and thinking that I'll figure it out next time.
Yeah.
But there's no next time. Next time is an illusion. There's nothing to get. You're trying to get something that cannot be. It's when I say it's unknowable, I really mean it. I just don't say it to sound kind of like, wise or something. I'm being honest when I say that I have no idea what this is, right? But in that I don't know, there's freedom.
Hmm. Yeah. It's kind
In
of like,
that
who cares?
spaciousness, in that who cares? No one knows. There's
Yeah.
this easiness. It's like back into that innocence again. Like when you're a child, like meh. When you're a teenager, just skateboarding everywhere, not a fuck in the world, right? Or when
Right.
you're a little
Right.
kid, yeah, that you're like, oh, Saturday cartoon is the TV's not working. Maybe I'm too old for you. My in my generation, we used to watch Saturday cartoon, and sometimes the TV's not working, so we just go out and play. That curiousness, that playfulness, right? And then I don't know what happened. Then all of a sudden I was seeking to find the meaning of life.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Then all of a sudden I'm looking for enlightenment. And then I'm looking for the dropping away of the me. So what I'm looking for is imaginary, but what's looking for is also imaginary. So the imaginary is looking for the imaginary. The mystery is looking for the mystery. The paradox is looking for the paradox. You can put any word that you like. The truth is looking for the truth. The absolute is looking for the absolute. But it's convinced that it's in the next. But there's no next. Meaning this is already.
Yeah.
Yeah. But keep on going, keep on going. You know, saying it's like, how long have you been listening to my videos? Not really that long.
Yeah, not probably yet. Maybe in a few days, maybe.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
um,
Uh, yeah. I mean,
this is direct.
it's very direct. Yeah.
I don't play with concepts, right? I don't even talk about the me because there's
Right.
no such thing. I don't even talk about contracted energy. There's no such thing.
Right.
I
Gotcha.
just,
So
yeah,
this tension that seems to be affected by this, what is that?
who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thing that maybe it's like an unconscious me that wants to stay alive.
Again, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to say, right? Trying to figure out, just reinforce it that there is a relevance. It doesn't matter, right? Why don't we just say it's the mystery appearing as that mystery of you, whatever? You know what I'm saying? It's a mystery. It's
Yeah.
still knowable, right? When there's nothing left to know, when there's nothing need to be figured out, when everything is just it, you're like, okay, I guess there's nothing I can do about this.
Yeah.
It's just unfolding. There's
Yeah.
an impersonal surrender to it, right? Me, not
Yeah.
you doing accepting or accepting. It's just what is.
Right. No,
There's so much fantastical thinking in spirituality and non-duality, right? That it could be this, and that, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. But it's like, do you want to go back to kindergarten when this is always graduation,
Wait, say what do you mean by that?
meaning it's over?
Right.
Yeah.
Is it
So
really
going
over?
back, yeah. Well, there's no one for it to be over and not over. It's over. You just think it's not. It's for everyone. People just think it's not. People think that there is an ending when there's no ending. It's just this, meaning that seeking is already over because there's nothing to seek, nothing to figure out. It's already this.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't solve the problem that yeah, and I know the but yeah.
Sorry for laughing, man. I didn't mean to do that.
Uh,
But there's no problem to solve.
yeah, I guess I don't
The
like
problem to solve is in the future again, right? So
yeah, it's in the
this is what happens, right? The character keeps on trying to go into the future when there's no
yeah,
future. It goes into the imaginary when it's being hit with directness.
right.
Yeah. It doesn't want to admit it that it's not here. It fights it by going to the future or the past, right? That's the only thing that you're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so it's this, yeah. I mean, and I guess this um isn't too bad. If they're really like, for example, if
I'll take this. You know what? If there's no next, this is good
yeah,
enough for you.
yeah, right. 'Cause like if you really said to me,
Well,
if you
if
really
I'm really stuck with this, then I have no choice. Then yeah, actually, isn't that brilliant though?
yeah,
If
yeah,
there's really no choice, it's just this. Wouldn't you just be at peace with it? If there's really no future, then the peace just happens. You're like, well, I guess this is it. This is it
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's no next.
Mm.
It's so relaxing, isn't it?
In a way, it is. Yeah.
It is, yeah. But it doesn't serve the fantasy.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
The desire to get really high and feel really good and feel really at peace, that it doesn't have anything to do
You
with that.
being
It's just,
bamboozled. You know what I'm saying? This is also this isness, basically, right? Um, it seems like coming and going. It seems like there is a dropping and an appearance and dropping and all that kind of, but it also doesn't move.
mm,
There's I was talking to someone earlier and he said it's like an acid trip sometimes.
yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what
But
it's
if you're
like.
looking for the acid trip in the next, you'll miss the acid trip right now.
Yeah.
Sort of, there's no acid trip in the next. There's no high in the next. It's right here, but it has nothing
So,
to do with you.
right.
Yeah.
It's just weird because yeah, I can only really think in terms of like, okay, how am I going to take what Emerson is
Yeah.
saying and remember? Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, there's no way. It's just this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. If like part of me doesn't really believe it, but like if
It
it
doesn't have to
really
be
is
believed. I don't want you to believe this at all. Because
right. Okay.
who's going to believe it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just saying like there's if what you're saying is true,
I'm not saying
um,
anything true at all.
no.
No.
Well, you're saying that there's only this.
Yeah. But I don't know what this is, but it's this.
But wait a second. It, it's there seems to be a real like innocent childlike innocence to the idea, or like there's like a moment where there's a glimpse of like, oh, it's
Yeah.
really just it's
It's
just
really just
this.
this. But the
Yeah.
character wants to grab it and makes it into this grand thing about me. He wants to be special. I'm like, I want to have that bliss and enlightenment and everything. And I'm saying, well, it's this. All you have is an idea about bliss, and this is bliss and enlightenment without a you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's already no you. So there's no you that's going to drop in the next.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Tell me if I'm taking too much time. I see
No,
someone
that's
else
okay.
that's
That's
there.
okay. I have one more person. If you like, man, just message me. We'll do kind of like a longer version of this. And
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I'll corner you until there's no, because there's no you to corner. If you know what I'm saying, right? And I'm seeing that you're getting hit with this directness, but there's it's almost like, how do I get this?
Yeah.
No, there's nothing to get. It's this directly, this.
Then maybe I could just let go and just
Who's to let go?
well then my body
Who claims that this is my body?
absolutely insane. Completely insane. All right, we'll have to definitely do this again
Okay,
in the next.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
I have to go
thank you.
soon, but I'll answer Melanie. Melanie, please go ahead. I have a normally I can do this for 2 hours, but I have something to do. But Melanie, go ahead. Oh, hi, Melanie. You made it. You just have to unmute. There you go.
Okay. I was going to type the question, but
sorry.
anyway, I was just wondering, like when it's said, you're trying to figure it out, or stop trying to figure it out. Don't figure it out. It doesn't seem like there's a choice there.
There's no
Like
choice.
who's choosing whether to or
Yeah.
Without using thoughts?
I'm just pointing out directly that there's no one trying to figure it out, right? There's no choice in that too. But it's
Yeah.
almost kind of like, Come on. You know what I'm saying? There's no you doing any of this. It's that basically, yeah.
Okay.
It has
It
language
seems
is always
something
going to
keeps
be dualistic, right? So it's going to appear, it's always going to be contradictory, right? Because it's been repeated over and over again. It's already this, but figure it out. But there's no you to figure out. Yeah, there's no you to figure out. Yeah.
it just or
It's just this.
without
It's just this without a two, without a second. And you know what? I'm trying to speak differently so that there is more kind of like whoomp. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Yeah.
Today
So
was
that it,
like a lot of directness and
yeah,
yeah,
very direct. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to
I
book the
just
one-on-one with that.
I just did a 5-day thing, right? So I think I told you about that. The 5-day event, and that was whoa.
Jeez.
At the end there was just whoa, right? Because there was just directness. And but yeah, in the directness of it all, words will appear, right? And there's no one in the words, no one that knows and everything. It's just wild. It's just this fantastic appearance of isness appearing as whatever this is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Well, unfortunately, I have to go. Normally, I would extend it to 2 hours, but I have some family stuff to do. Um, there's a Sunday meeting, but next week it's Mother's Day. Spend time with your moms or mother figures or whatever, or with your family and everything, right? Forget about this meeting next Sunday. But this Sunday, there's a meeting. Thank you so much, everyone. Love you guys very, very much. So, mwah.
Bye, Emerson.
Bye.